Hey there, this is James with Unity of Greenville. Glad to be with you this morning on this another beautiful day. It's raining here in Greenville, South Carolina. It's going to rain all day today, and that is fine with me. I'm not going to resist it because that takes effort to resist. It takes energy. It robs me of energy, and I don't want to do that. So I want to talk to you about this today, this idea of non-resistance. What does that mean? And how does it work? Well, you're listening to the right person today because I want to talk to you about it and tell you what I think. Now, now, of course, my ideas, my opinions are that they are my opinions and interpretations of other people's thoughts and ideas, especially Jesus, what he said and what he meant by what he said. And, I like to make suggestions and recommendations. I'm not here to tell you that you must do this or you're going to hell. No, we're not into that. We're into empowering people, giving people choice. Say, this is one way you can live life and experience a higher quality, a greater degree of happiness and joy, or you can follow the other options, and there are many options. So, non resistance comes from that very famous verse in Matthew chapter 5, verse 39. You know what it says? It says, "But I say to you, do not resist the evildoer, but if anyone strikes you on the right cheek, turn the other also." Hmm. So I'm supposed to turn the other cheek and then let them strike me on the other cheek? Is that what he's saying? Well, let's go a little deeper. Let's go deeper with this. Let's look at the word evildoer, because that's a very old-fashioned word. When the Bible uses the word evil, it doesn't necessarily mean uh, to us what it meant in those days. When we think of evil, we think of something that is really horrendous and bad and awful. But actually, an evildoer is simply a troublemaker, a trickster, a bully. Now, the thing about these types of folks, and they show up in our lives, and they show up for a reason, but they get power from us. We're the ones that feed them and help them to continue to be troublemakers and tricksters and bullies because we feed them energy. So, in my mind, turning the other cheek may mean that we are to present a different face to them. Let them see that you have an inner power and that they cannot hurt you. I don't play by those rules of an eye for an eye or a tooth for a tooth. You see, a lot of folks desire conflict because the drama of it gives them some kind of um, pay payback or a thrill. They get something from it, or else they wouldn't do it. So it helps them to feel superior to other people. But the thing of it is, you have to realize that what we call an evildoer or a bully or someone who is a troublemaker, they are all bound up on the inside with an internal struggle of an addiction to what? To fear, anger, and blame. They are projecting onto you that you are the problem. And they would be wrong because you are not necessarily the problem, but they are in that moment thinking that you are for whatever reason. You think about nature. When a storm comes and the rains come down and hit the ground, well, the ground doesn't resist anything. It just accepts the rain. It accepts it as part of the life's process. In fact, the grass really appreciates the rain, says, hey, this is good stuff. This is feeding me. And they understand that after the storm will be followed up by sunshine and clear skies. And so we can be like nature. We don't have to resist the storms. We don't have to resist the exterior pressure that's going on. We can accept the negativity in the world because there's a process of working out some kind of inner struggle or inner turmoil. There's some kind of inner process that's being worked out. See, we have to understand that in order for us to deal with things in the world, we have to get the problem out on the table. You know, if a surgeon is going to operate on somebody, they have to bring the body in and put them on the table so that they can deal with whatever is going on inside the body to either remove it or to heal it in some way, shape, or form. And that's the job of you and I. That's what Jesus was trying to tell us. He said, don't resist these processes of the negativity being expressed outwardly. Understand that that is part of the process. It is part of the process of emptying out, of getting it out on the table so you can see it, so you can work with it, so you can deal with it. Jesus was saying, be the facilitator of the process so that you can help the world heal. Now, this takes great confidence. It takes inner strength. It takes an inner belief in yourself to allow the process of life to play itself out and to flow toward love and healing. Because I believe that that's the idea, that the storm comes in order to work through this process, and then there are blue skies and sunshine. So I accept that when somebody comes at me like this, that they are upset, but not for the reason that they think they are. Okay? They think that I took something from them, or that I said something, and that I did something, that somehow I cheated them, or whatever it is. Okay? But that's not really what they're upset about. There is some kind of trigger inside of them that is causing them to continuously react. They're caught up in this programming, they're caught up in this mental, emotional, psychological loop, and they don't even know what they're really angry about. They don't know why they're upset. And so, as a facilitator, as a healer, as one who believes in non-resistance, I turn the other cheek and present a different face to them. I present a face of strength, of confidence, and I help them to, process what it is they're going to. Sometimes when someone is saying something hurtful to me, I simply put my hand up and say, stop, stop. And I stop them in the act. And a lot of times it catches them off guard. They go, who? What are you doing? And I said, listen, it sounds like you're angry. You're angry about something. I said, I don't know if it's because of something I said or did. If it is, well, we can talk about that. But you don't have to, throw angry words and spite and vengeance at me. We can resolve the issue if that's what you want to do. And that's the face that I present to them. I turn the other cheek. I turn and then I present a face that is wanting to facilitate, wanting to heal. And because what I'm doing in that moment, I'm telling them, you have no power over me. Because what do most people do when somebody strikes you on one cheek? What do? Automatically, your hand comes up and you want to strike them back. You want to hit back, you know? Well, what has that gotten us? Let's think about the last several thousand years of wars and the fighting that goes on in the Middle East, the fighting that goes on in all these different countries. People are holding grudges that have been held for thousands of years. And many times they don't even know why they hold this grudge. It's an ancient grudge, and they're carrying it around. It's a burden, and it is keeping them stuck and keeping us stuck. And so, if I can facilitate this and say, listen, I understand that you're upset. I know you're upset. And listen, if there's something I've done, I want to make amends. I want to make it right. But what you have to understand is that you don't want to allow their anger to have power over you. Non-resistance does not mean I have to listen, to what they're saying. I can put my hand up and say, stop. That's enough. What I want to know is what you're really upset about. What's really going on here? And when you can do that for folks, most of the time they'll think about it. It'll catch them off guard, and they'll say, "Whoa, wait a minute. Why am I doing this?" You know? And I've actually had people break down, in tears after this. I don't accuse them. I don't react. I just say, stop. Tell me what's really going on. You've been obviously hurt. Tell me what it is. Tell me what's going on. And let's see if we can move past it. You'd be shocked and surprised and amazed at the bullies and these troublemakers. Because the reason they're creating trouble is because troublemakers are troubled, right? And they go around causing trouble. But what they need maybe is the light. They need understanding. They need healing. They need inner healing for their stress, their struggles, and their turmoils. Why are you so upset? Why are you, because you can look in people's lives, and if they're attacking you, it's because that's how they are. They have attacked others, and so now they're attacking you. But Jesus is telling us here, don't resist it, because there's a process that can be worked out if you don't take it personally. See, the ego, the human being, takes everything personally. Oh, it's all about me. They're mad at me. They're upset with me. And really, it's not about you. It's about what's going on the inside of them. They don't even know that they are stuck in some kind of ancient programming that is keeping them from being free. If you really want to help people become free, then you can apply this idea, this thought of non-resistance. It doesn't mean that, you have to allow people to say bad things about you and keep hitting you. It just means, hold it, wait a minute. Let's stop for a moment. Let's find out what's really going on. And in that moment, you're telling them, in a subconscious way, you have no power over me, But I don't have to listen to that. But I can be a facilitator. I can help you to heal if you really want to heal. See, if I'm wise, I can help them resolve the issue. And that becomes a good thing for both of us. I just can't take it personally, see? And this is not an easy principle. This is not an easy thing to do. But I invite you to consider doing this whenever you're attacked, to put on a different face. Turn the other cheek. Contemplate, okay, how should I respond? And maybe it's just simply stop. 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 What's going on with you? What are you really angry about? Why are you upset? And from that perspective, you can bring healing to a lot of people. Like I said, it's not easy. This is one of those principles, one of those concepts, one of those ideas that Jesus put forth. It takes discipline. Sometimes it takes, trial and error. But after a while, you get to the point to where you practice it long enough and you see the wisdom in it. You see the power in it. And then you become a facilitator for even the most angry people. And the people, because what's behind anger is fear. They're timid. They really don't understand why they're doing what they do. It's just a habit. And they're trying to find a way to deal with this inner struggle so they can feel better about themselves. And so many people, they just fall prey and they just say, oh, well, you're the bad guy, I'm the good guy. And that's just the way it is, without trying to find a way to resolve the issues. So that's what Jesus was telling us. Now, I know this is one of those hard sayings. You may have to think about it for a while. But that's okay, because I want to challenge you today to consider the wonderful principle and empowerment, self-empowerment of non-resistance. All right. So, thanks for listening today. I appreciate it. If you'd like to make a donation to Unity, go to unitychurchofgreenville.org and you can give a donation there. We really appreciate it. Hey, this Sunday, we're going to be discussing the law of action. The law of action. Love in action, service, and those kinds of things. This is principle number 5 in Unity. And I know that you'll get a lot from that. So hopefully you can join us this weekend, 10:30. You can watch us on our website, which is probably the best way to watch because you get the good, clear picture and everything just comes out good. Or you can watch on Facebook or YouTube because it's all streamed out to all of these places all at once. Have a wonderful rest of the week and enjoy your life and consider this idea of non-resistance. We'll see you soon.